for almost 20 months here of all New York City recruiting activities in the 5 boroughs, Long Island, and New York City.
I'm Command Sergeant Major Angela Andardio. I am her counterpart in the battalion. I'm a senior enlisted advisor.
So we're here today to talk to you a little bit, give you an introduction, and we'll turn it over to our experts about the United States Army and the vocational ed opportunities that the Army brings. A little bit about my background. I actually joined the Army in 1996 as a private, an E1, went to basic training. I joined the reserves so that I could get money to go to school. And while I was in the reserves, I just absolutely fell in love with the Army. I thought it was a great opportunity to excel and do things outdoors and just be a part of a team. So when I came out of basic training as a soldier, I sought an opportunity to continue to go to school and join ROTC. And that's how I became a United States Army officer. So I actually served in the reserves as an enlisted soldier for the entire time that I was in college, and then I was commissioned after college as an officer, and I've been an officer now for over 20 years. Sergeant Major?
So I joined the Army 23 years ago from right here in Brooklyn, New York. I joined as a welder machinist, and really kind of relevant to what we're doing here. I found a great value in that training. And the reason I chose that training is so that I can learn valuable skills for when I decided to get out of the Army, so that I can find strong and good employment after a few years of serving, because I was on the road to education there at John Jay. And one of the reasons I joined was not only for skills, valuable skills, but also for money for college. What I found was that I did decide to stay and continue with education, training, and leadership and travel with the United States Army. And here I am today. Some of the things that I learned in the Army is that the Army will provide skills that will be marketable coming out, such as OSHA certifications with machining and welding. And that's been really eye-opening for me, things that I share along my way as I travel around the country in recruiting and human resources to help folks understand how well the Army can provide those skills for them.
So we also are going to share with you some of the other opportunities that there are related to vocational. And, you know, the Army has a lot of opportunities that even some of us aren't aware of. I just became aware of this great program where if you have civilian certifications already in the vocational area, you can apply those skills to the United States Army, and you can actually test out of some Army training, so that once you enlist as a soldier, go to basic training, you can get credit for the certifications that you already have, as long as you test the equivalent in the Army, and that shortens the amount of training that you have to do as a soldier, and then you could go straight into your unit or your reserve unit. So that's an awesome opportunity that I didn't even know existed, and opportunities like that are what we're going to discuss today. And then the last thing that we wanted to bring everybody's attention to, because it's March and it's Women's History Month. We're extremely proud to be one of the all-female battalion command teams in the Army. I think we're one of the only ones. Often there's, you know, one of the counterparts is a male, and we just think that's a really special thing to call attention to, especially during Women's History. So we're very proud to represent what the future of the Army looks like in terms of equality and diversity and inclusion, especially with the opportunities that women have.
Definitely. And as you all may know, since the Revolutionary War, women have been serving in both traditional and non-traditional roles, everything from nurses to cooks to spies. And so throughout the years here since 2017, the Army has fully integrated women into combat arms and combat units. We're really proud of that. And I think the bottom line is the world, as well as the Army, has realized that women can do anything that they put their minds and their hearts to. And we're really proud of that, and really proud that the Army has found confidence in us to serve here in one of the toughest units in the Army in recruiting in New York City. So here we are. We're proud to serve. We're proud to serve you all. Thanks.
Thanks for having us, and I'll turn it over to my education specialist to talk all of the details of vocational opportunities in the Army. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am and Sergeant Major. Appreciate your time and commitment to not only us but also the community, that you would take that time to talk to our stakeholders in the community. So thank you. We'll also now take off our masks since we're distanced and start our presentation. All right, here we go.
You have to start video.
All right, can you see that okay?
Yep, we see it.
Awesome,
Yep.
good deal. Everybody.
All right, so good afternoon, audience. Thank you for having us here. I'm gonna go ahead and begin by introducing myself briefly, and then I'm gonna go over some of the, jobs that our command team was talking about. So my name is Sergeant First Class Quispe, and I've been in the Army for 13 years. I've done multiple jobs in the Army, so that gives testament to how diverse the Army is and how easy you could transition from jobs. I started off as a tank mechanic in the United States Army, and 2 years into it, I decided to change my job into a more hands-on combat-related job as an infantryman. So I also done recruiting at the same time. I've worked in multiple positions, from administrative roles to actual leading soldiers in combat zones, but that's a little bit about me, all right? The Army has 150 jobs that individuals, civilians can benefit from, all right? Majority of the people have the misconception that the Army is all about combat and, everything they see on TV. However, they're not aware that the Army has support jobs. Those guys in combat, they need people to, process their paperwork, process their pay. They need equipment. They need supplies. They need to eat, right? So we need cooks and all that stuff. And those are the type of skills that people out here already possess, the certifications, the training, and that's the type of jobs that we're here to talk about. I know this is a vocational school, right, Dr. Bacon?
The audience. Yeah.
The audience. So majority of you guys are already probably either looking into get certified in some type of vocational type job or has the certifications already. And I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about how that benefits you if you join the Army and how the Army will benefit from you as well. If you decide to join the Army, and you possess those certifications, the Army will be getting, a well-trained, already trained soldier, excuse me, and the Army wouldn't have to waste a lot of time in retraining you and all that stuff because you already possess those certifications, all right? How you will benefit from the Army, you would end up joining and getting paid a job that you love doing already. So when you pick a job, you don't have to not dislike the job. You already like what you're doing in the Army. You could do that in any place across the world, in wherever we have Army bases, all right? The program that our command team was talking about was the ACAS program, the Civilian Acquired Skills Program. And like I said, it's a VOTEC program that, jobs like firefighters, electricians, dental specialists, and mechanics can benefit from by coming into the Army and skipping some of that training, all right? However, you do got to meet some qualifications in order to do that. And like we talked about it, like you see in the slide, I talked about reducing training and costs for the Army, and how you guys will, provide a little bit of a gain to the Army, so to speak. You guys will be providing all that skills that you already possess out here in the civilian world. So in order to benefit from that, you do have to meet basic qualifications to join. You could talk to a local recruiter about that, but briefly, you got to meet the education benefits, you got to education qualifications, the age qualifications, and all these other stuff before you can even apply for the ACAS program. But keep in mind that if you have these certifications, you could be one of those guys that join the Army, go to basic training, skip some of the training that the Army has if you're able to test out of these programs, and then, be happy doing the job you like doing and serving at the same time. So, next slide.
All right, my name is Dave Baker. I have a doctorate in educational administration and leadership. I've been in education now for 25 years, as everything from a high school English teacher to a high school principal, pretty much everything in between. I drove school buses even for 7 years. But before I got into education, from 92 to 95, I was a soldier in the Army. I was in supply, and then when I got out, trying to figure out what to do with my life, I actually did excavation for about 6 months, and drove semis and tour buses and then the school buses, and then I got into education, and I'm still a college professor part-time, and this is my love right now, and it's awesome being able to support the community and the Army and working with you guys and helping to show a possible avenue of career for you after high school, and even there are several programs that you can even join your junior year in high school, and Sergeant Quispy will talk about that in a little bit. I want to talk about some of the Army benefits that are present. There are benefits during service that a lot of people don't know about, and I'm really trying to educate the community about that. And one of them is college or vocational training during enlistment. One of the unknown facts is that it is really an expectation that when a soldier hits the duty station after training, that they begin taking either college classes or vocational classes, and it can be done remotely. So one of the things I'm really pushing is when soldiers join the active Army and they're active duty and they're going to finish training and go be stationed somewhere around the world, I'm trying to get them to apply and get accepted to colleges here in New York, so that whenever they hit their duty station, they're already accepted, they're ready to go. All they need to do is enroll in their classes and start taking college classes. And the Army actually pays for up to $250 per semester hours. So it's a great opportunity to get your college started, and in addition to paying the money for the tuition, every Army post also has an education center, and that education center can give tutoring and extra support, give research availability and help, technology help. So the Army really is about not just soldiering, but it's about education as well. And it has the same sort of programs for vocational training. So maybe you come into the Army and you've got one certificate, but you're interested in gaining some more certificates in maybe a related field, or maybe something a little bit different. You can do that, and the Army will pay you to do that. Another benefit during service is housing. If you're single, they'll have barracks. If you're married and have a family, they have housing for those soldiers. Sometimes it's on post, sometimes it's off post. Your meals are provided at in the chow hall or wherever they designate for meals to be served. You get vacation time. I don't know, when I was in, it was 30 days a year. I don't know what it is now.
Still is
30 days.
30 days.
and then healthcare. You get free healthcare, whatever's going on, whether it's related to your service or not, you get treated. So those are great benefits that you get during your service. Now there are a lot of benefits after discharge, and if it's an honorable discharge, then you can access the GI Bill. Different versions of the GI Bill. One of them, the post 9/11 GI Bill, is pretty remarkable. Not only does it give tuition assistance, and the tuition assistance will vary depending on what college that you're going to. In some cases, it'll pay for the entire college cost of the tuition. In addition, they pay you a housing allowance and a stipend for your books and supplies. It is really a remarkable program. Not only would that be applied to a university, say, one around New York, but it would also be applied to a vocational training college that has to be accredited, but it would be applicable to a vocational training college as well. In addition, veterans have home loan assistance. My house, the house that I bought with my family, we used my veteran benefit to buy the house. There's also a program called the PAYS program. And when you sign up to join the Army, you can sign up to be a PAYS enlistee. And basically what that does is we have a group of business partners around the community, and they can't guarantee a job, right? But you will be guaranteed interviews with some of the partners that you and your recruiter will talk about. The next thing is healthcare. So you had healthcare where you were in the Army. Well, when you get out, you can still gain treatment at the VA clinics. If you're injured and you come out with a disability, then the treatment could be all free. If not, then you can get treated, and they will work with your insurance companies and work out a plan that the insurance company will pay some and the VA will pay some. And then one of the most recent things that really is impressive is the amount of businesses, companies, and individuals in and around the country that have really embraced veterans. I've noticed a huge difference in probably the last 5 to 6 years of the number of discounts and perks that businesses provide. Almost any business that I will go into, almost any business has some sort of veteran discount. So there's a lot of benefits both during service and after service for people who join the Army or any of the branches. So the next topic I want to talk about is the ASVAB test and an associated program after the ASVAB. So one of the things I want to do is raise awareness of what the ASVAB test is, and part of that is what happens after the test is taken. So if students at a school take the test, I can come in, or a series of our recruiters can come in and give a career planning program. And military service is not required for any of this. It's free of charge to the school, to the kids, to the families for us. And the program will go through typical types of jobs based on their tests that they could qualify for, and that would be that their skills would be significantly aligned with. There's a part of the program where they do an interest survey, and then and so you take the interest survey, the education, and their testing, and it will come up with a series of jobs where they see where they're most highly connected. It doesn't mean that those are the best jobs for them, but then it'll also show if they don't want to go to the military. It'll show what colleges around the country have certain programs that will be connected with those different jobs. And they can click on a link that'll take them to the college. It'll show them how much the college costs. It'll show them where the college is at. It'll show all sorts of facts about the college. Or if they would be interested in the military, then there's another site that they'll go to where they can see how their testing and their interest in their education, how it will connect with certain military jobs. And so then they can go through some of those jobs. So really, what you want to begin to do is be thinking about your post-high school goals. And it's kind of weird as you know, wherever you're at in high school, or your students or whoever is on wherever they're at in high school, it's never too early to begin thinking about what you'll do after high school. And it may be that these students, I don't want to do anything but go straight to college, or I don't want to do anything. I am ready to start working, or maybe I already have a job and that's the exact career field I'm going to go into. Or some people may want to join the military. And the one thing I want to point out is, if military service is what you were thinking, actually you can do all three of those. You can serve in the Army. You can choose a vocational job and actually have a civilian type job in the Army. And you can be getting college credits or vocational courses while you're serving.
Dave, are you showing different slides? Because we just see the first slide, you know.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, really? Yeah, I've been sliding through. Oh, I don't. Shoot. Hang on a second, let me.
Okay, yeah, now we're seeing them move.
All right, I'll just leave it like that.
Gotcha. So what Dr. Baker was talking about, the split option program, for those of you that are a junior in high school, if you're considering the military as an option, you could actually join as a junior in high school. Obviously, you have to be 17 in order to join, but that could be an option for you. And how the split ship program works is that when you join, you don't go anywhere until the summertime. All right. So in the summertime, think about it like a summer job. You will go to basic training, and everything is paid for. Obviously, you're going to be making money while you're down there. And then when you complete basic training, you will come back home. Now you're entering your senior year with a little bit of money in your pocket. You know, you have the experience. You even have the bragging rights when you go into a senior year, right, of your high school. You're in the military, you're a soldier, and now you finish out your senior year. And then you will go back the next summer to do your advanced individual training, which is the specialized portion of your training, whatever your job you pick. There's potential for you to get paid throughout, from the beginning, from your enlistment all the way till you finish your training. So all the time when you are going to school, junior year, senior year, you are getting paid. So that is the split ship option program that you could potentially take advantage of if you're thinking of joining the military as an option.
So the next thing we're going to do, we want to show you some videos that the Army has put together of some of the different vocational career opportunities that the military has.
Military Occupational Specialty, Allied Trades Specialist. When soldiers need a part made or repaired right now, and there's no other way to get it, they go to the Allied Trades Specialist. This soldier fabricates.
Dave, we can't see the screen.
The metallic and non-metallic parts necessary for Army troops to keep their equipment operating reliably. To do this, the Army will
Are you seeing that?
select the materials, tools, and equipment to do the job. And
No, we still see the slides. You have to share the screen and select the option where you're sharing the video.
Oh,
tools
I got
like
you.
drill presses, tap and die sets, grinders, and other power tools used to fabricate. Specialist. When soldiers need a part made or repaired right now, and there's no other way to get it, they go to the Allied Trades Specialist. This soldier fabricates, repairs, and modifies the metallic and non-metallic parts necessary for Army troops to keep their equipment operating reliably. To do this, the Army will train you to select the materials, tools, and equipment to do the job, and train you to use various metal fabrication machines to shape metal parts to exact tolerances. You'll train to operate tools like drill presses, tap and die sets, grinders,
Are you
and
seeing
other
it
power
now?
tools used to fabricate parts. You'll also train to...
So that's that one. Are you seeing them now?
No, you just have a picture of me showing.
Gosh. Okay. Oh, it's not letting me. Well, it's not letting me. I'll post these different links in the comment section, and feel free at your own leisure to go through and look at the different job links. It's going to talk about the different trades, and I've got all sorts of different videos. Here I've got the allied trade specialist, firefighter, plumber, interior electrician, carpentry and masonry, and then a wheeled vehicle mechanic as different options of what the Army has as far as career tech type jobs. Get back to the video here. Let me see if it'll play here.
Well, using oxyacetylene, metal inert gas, and tungsten inert gas.
I don't know, is that
In
showing?
addition, you'll also learn how to use arc and air arc cutting
It's not
and
showing.
polishing equipment.
All right.
After your initial entry
It's
training
not showing.
and
Okay.
advanced individual training, you'll work supporting Army operations day or night, where your duties may be in a large or small indoor shop, or in a mobile shop that can take you just about anywhere the work needs doing. As an allied trade specialist, you'll perform precision work with...
All right, well, sorry for the technical hiccup, but I'll get those copied and pasted into the comments sections. I'll hope that anyone may have, and we'll answer those and see how we can best assist you guys. Looking through the comments.
Just to give you guys a little bit more information, here in the 5 boroughs, there's actually part-time reserve units, right? We talked about the reserve as a part-time opportunity. So those of you that would like maybe a part-time job, a secondary job, and you have certification, we do have mechanical jobs and military police jobs and things like that across the 5 boroughs. So you don't have to go anywhere far. You can stay here at home, go to school, put to use those certifications that you might have already, or acquire certifications through the Army Reserve and apply them here at home in New York City.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. Dave, can you just click on stop share, because we're not able to see you in okay.
Yeah.
That's better. Okay, thank you.
I was going to answer a question. Sharon posted a question about repeating the information about the amount of money the Army contributes to college. Sure. During enlistment, the Army will pay up to $250 per credit hour, and most soldiers are able to take a 3-credit class at a time. Some can take more than 1 class at a time, but I mean, you are working a full-time job in the Army and taking classes, but the Army really does value the education, and so they will figure out a way to make it work and to support you and your needs. When you get out, the post 9/11 GI Bill, it will pay up to 100% of the tuition to state-run colleges and universities. So some of the colleges and universities may be state, but they charge a whole lot. So maybe it won't pay the full amount, but you're going to get quite a bit of money back for your tuition assistance through the GI Bill. And then there are scholarships and different things to to supplement what's still remaining that wouldn't have to be something that you were taking a loan on. So I hope that answers your question. But the benefits really are huge, and the idea of how the Army believes and values education is definitely real. Both of our commanders, the colonel has a master's degree at least, and I know the sergeant major, she has a master's degree and is working on her doctorate. We have a first sergeant from the Brooklyn South Company, and he's also working on his doctorate. We have lots of most of the soldiers who have been in for up to 15 years. They've got their master's degree. I don't know, Sergeant, how are you doing on your education?
So speaking of that, I'm actually in school as we speak, right? Working towards finishing my bachelor's degree. I actually take 2 classes per semester because, like Dr. Baker said, full-time soldier, you could go to school, but then you have to manage your time wisely, right? But yeah, the Army pays for my classes every semester. Nothing comes out of my pocket. And I'm able to take advantage of that. That's the tuition assistance. You use that money while you're serving in the military, okay? When you come out of the Army with 3 years of service, the Army is gonna pay you with the post 9/11 GI Bill. The Army will pay you for 36 months of school. It will pay you for your rent, and it will pay you for your $1,000 for books a year. So keep that in mind. So while you're serving, you could take advantage of the free money, and then when you come out, you still got money left for school. So a lot of people don't know that.
Ashwin is attending. I hope I said your name right. Is attending Aviation High School and is wondering if there's anything pertaining specifically to aviation. Well, I know in a conversation I was having with this first sergeant, I was shocked. He told me that the Army actually has more aviation-related jobs than even the Air Force, which really surprised me. And then he went off to name a bunch of them off. So there are lots of aviation-related jobs in the Army. Which ones specifically could relate to voc ed? I don't know right off the top of my head, but you can give your information to Gav, and I'll make sure to get a recruiter in contact with you to answer your questions. Let me talk about that a little bit, because there's a little bit of a misconception about what the recruiters do and how they do their job. And obviously their title is a recruiter, so their job is to recruit new applicants who are interested in serving in the Army. So that's their job. Their job is to sign new kids up. But they're not going to push someone into the Army who's really not dedicated and sure that that's what they want to do. So feel free to reach out and connect with someone. And if you feel like they've overpushed themselves and they're trying to convince you to do something that you don't want, you need to let us know, because that's not what we do. When we go into schools, we're there as recruiters, but we're not actively recruiting. We're there to support what's going on in the school, help the school out, do what we can to support them, and be there as a community member in the building. So you're welcome, Ashwin, and if let me know if there's anything that we can help you out with. We're here for you, buddy. Got some more questions? Okay, and I'll get your email down and share that.
Is there an aviation unit for 15 Tango here in New York? Pablo, I'm gonna take this question and answer it here for you. Unfortunately, aviation is not common in the reserve. Therefore, 15 Tangos are mostly in the active duty force, which the closest active duty base here in New York City will be upstate New York, Fort Drum, which is 6.5 hours away from here. Relatively not too far, but 15 Tangos are definitely up in Fort Drum, New York. I've actually put some young men that actually are stationed in upstate New York as a 15 Tango. All right.
Any other questions that you guys have?
Yeah, can you guys speak more about if there are any opportunities for kids who are interested in doing electrical installation?
Absolutely. You want to get on that?
So the Army does have an interior electrician job. You will have to go to training and all that stuff. So in order for a student or an individual to qualify to skip the training that the Army has, you have to be certified, right? You have to possess the certification, and you have to have the experience for at least 1 year. So most high school students, they probably lack on the experience part if they're not actively, probably in an internship or something like that along those lines. So they won't be able to qualify for that program. However, the Army will still train you as an interior electrician. You will go through the courses. They'll teach you how to read schematics. They'll teach you how to connect, this and that wire. And then you'll be certified once you complete that training. It'll be full trained because you didn't meet the ACAS qualification. So you'll have to complete the entire training. And then once you finish advanced individual training, depending whether you joined active duty or the Army Reserve, will determine where you go next.
And I'll tell you, the training that you get in the Army is no joke. It's legit. When I was I drove a semi. I'd never driven a semi before in my life, and got in and got trained, and I drove that thing all over Germany and all around and through Saudi Arabia when I got deployed. And to this day, my driver's license right now, I'm certified to drive a Class A semi. So. And the training I got was in the Army, and I got out and I went to the DMV and I got trained. I did my test, and I'm still driving. I can drive a semi if I want. I can hop in and when I was first teaching, I actually would go out into oil fields in California, and I'd support my stepdad, who was he worked in the oil fields, and I supported him and his business, helping them out by driving semis. So when you get trained in the Army, the work really does pay off in the real world. How long is the training for interior wiring electrician? I will look that up. Give me 1 second. I'll look that up. Any other questions that you guys may have?
For Mr. Sharon, is it Sharon, right? Sharon, 15 Tango is a UH-60 helicopter mechanic, all right? The Army wings, but rotary aviation, like helicopters. So for each different helicopter, the Army has a different mechanic. So you'll get training. So a 15 Tango will be certified in fixing UH-60 Blackhawks, and then you have your mechanics that fix Apaches, the other aircraft that the Army has.
All right. So the electrician.
Just messed it
I know there's 6 weeks. The training for the interior electrician is a total of 6 weeks. You probably knew that.
6 weeks. However, that's just the electrician training. You do have to go to basic training.
Yeah.
That on its own, it's 10 weeks long. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Brian is plumber, electrician, firefighter, allied trade specialist. Is it the only jobs? Oh no, there are lots of these jobs. And these are just a few that I picked out. Let me get to.
So you gotta think about this. The Army has, like, say, mechanic job, right? The Army has a lot of equipment. So depending on what type of mechanical job you want, will determine what job you pick. So we have mechanics that fix light wheel vehicles, tracked vehicles. They fix equipment such as radio communications. Mechanics that fix, like we talked about, helicopters. So there's different types of jobs in that particular field. Okay.
There are also jobs such that have certifications such as being an X-ray technician and different things in the medical field. So if what you need to kind of recognize is if there's a job in in the United States,
We have an equivalent.
there's an equivalent in the Army. Because if we're deployed somewhere, we can't call back to the States and say, hey, my plumber down the block, I'm gonna have him come over here to Iraq. We can't do that. So if there's a job out here, there's a job that's the equivalent in the Army.
So that kind of answers the question of administrative jobs. We definitely have administrative jobs in the Army. Like I said, we do have a human resource specialist in the Army. They process all our paperwork, all our awards. They make sure our medical is always green. We call it green. That means everything. We got all our shots and all that stuff. So they make sure everything of when it comes to human resources related, they make sure they handle that. We don't have to worry about it. So I'm a recruiter. I don't have to worry about my pay, none of that stuff. They'll take care of that. All right.
Pablo has a question, what the difference is between the reserves and the National Guard.
Gotcha.
Want to hit that?
Yeah, so the reserve is a federal organization, all right? So you belong to the federal government, right? So you're part of the big army. The National Guard, you are state owned. So if you belong to the New York National Guard, you are part of New York State. Any emergency in New York State, you will have to be called upon. In the Army Reserve, unless we really need you, like to plus up our active duty side, then you most likely won't get called to go overseas or anything like that. There are opportunities to do so, but the chances of you getting pulled out while you're in school and stuff like that, it's minimum. Hopefully that answers your question there.
Okay, there was a question about mechanical or civil engineering, and absolutely. Those are two jobs. You know what the numbers are of those?
I believe the engineer is
Combat engineer.
Yeah.
Combat engineer, a bridge crew member to set up a bridge, horizontal construction engineer, technical engineer, geospatial engineer.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. And I got a doctorate. Man, I'll be looking up some words in the dictionary there. But yeah, again, if there's a job out here in the civilian world, the military is going to have a job as well. You want to get the pay?
What kind of jobs are available for folks who prefer to do office administrative work? Like we covered before, the HR person is always in the office. We got a supply person, office job. You're in charge of providing us the supply we need. Anything from pencil and paper to like big equipment like night vision goggles and body armor and all that stuff. You're in charge of running that and make sure we have that. So we do have office type jobs like that.
There are also secretarial type jobs. There are jobs of again, any type of job that there is out in society that you see. There will absolutely 100% be the equivalent in the Army. What's the pay? What's the salary range?
So the salary ranges for all jobs are the same. So everybody going to basic training and going to different jobs, you all getting paid the same. To start off at the lowest rank, you'll be making roughly without taxes around $17.50 right now a month. All right. That money gets broken down into 2 checks. You get paid every 1st and every 15th.
Any other questions? Any questions from some kids who are out here or parents?
No questions.
Let me jump in here, guys. I'm hearing my echo. What if somebody wanted to? Does a candidate have a choice whether or not they stay within the United States or they get deployed? Because we have some students that figure, you know what, I probably want to have a job in the Army, but I'm scared about being deployed somewhere. So is there any sort of choice that they have whether or not they remain here or they get sent somewhere else?
So to answer your question, the reserves is if somebody is, has that hesitation about going overseas, you need to understand that we have duty stations and training that happens overseas. When people refer to overseas in you see, what you see on TV, like Iraq, Afghanistan, those are called combat tours. However, those you get selected to go over there based on like your unit, how trainable you are and stuff like that. So it's not like you graduate and you're gonna go straight over there. Active duty side, we have bases all across the United States and overseas, Hawaii, Alaska, Korea, Germany. So you could end up overseas in a duty station. Doesn't mean you're going to go to Iraq or Afghanistan or any other part of the world like that. But we cannot guarantee you're not going to go overseas. You know what I'm saying? In the reserve, you got a little bit more of a say of staying here because, like I said, the reserve, it is what it is. It's a part-time job for people that are going to college, people that want to stay home. They don't want to go anywhere too far from home. And the reserve will only get activated majority of the time when we need soldiers to plus up our active duty force. So if we don't need the reserve side, then you're obviously going to stay here at home 9 times out of 10.
I'm gonna put up our email addresses so you can see them here. I'll type them in.
Good afternoon. Hey, Gavin, I could speak out loud. I could ask a question.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Hey, how's it going?
Thank you, guys. First of all, thank you for your service and thank you for having this information for us. My question, I'm an electrical instructor in New York City, so I'm very interested about that interior electrical training, 6-week training program. Can you give us more of an idea of what does that look like exactly? Like a student who enters into the career with you guys is taking this 6-week training. Is it just training for those 6 weeks, or is it in-class training and on the field training, hands-on training? And then after the training is completed, do they start working within the military in that skill set? Is there opportunities to continue studying a different field of electrical installation, a different type of electrical work, things like that?
Okay, so good questions. So when you are in your advanced individual training, that is the environment there is school-like environment. You wake up every morning, sometimes you do classroom, sometimes hands-on, it is like a regular college type environment. It's not the training. You already passed basic training, so you'll be doing like the hands-on. You will learn your particular job, hands-on classroom, all right? And once you complete that training, it all depends what path you pick. Active duty side, you will go to your duty station and you will do that interior electrician job. That is your full-time job, right? If you choose the reserve side, you're only going to be doing that particular job once a month, because when you finish training, you come back home and then once a month you report to your unit to keep training and refreshing on what you've learned, right? Either one, you can still use the money that the Army is giving you and to, pursue a higher knowledge of electrical work, right, on your own, right? The Army does have courses that maybe enhances those skills that you already learned in the basic training phase and stuff like that. But the opportunity that the Army gives you is the money that facilitates you pursuing a higher degree and knowledge of whatever field you pick. Hopefully that answered your question. Awesome.
Nice. I saw that Brian asked a question. When you're done with basic training, what happens next? Well, Brian, that's going to kind of depend on what year you are in school, and also it's going to depend on what you've chosen, whether you've chosen to go reserves or active duty. So if you're a junior in high school, you will go to basic training the summer before your senior year, and then you'll come back. You'll be put in, I don't know what they call it, assigned, attached to a reserve unit.
So you are part of a unit, a reserve unit here in New York City. Like I said, we have units in Queens, Fort Taunton. We have units here in Brooklyn, New York, for Hamilton. And if you don't like being here, you could hop over the border, and we have units in New Jersey and stuff like that. So, it gives you a chance to go away for a little bit for a weekend. Do something different.
Yeah. But then if you're in the regular Army, then it may be different. I was in a long time ago. I was in 92, but I went from basic training and went straight to my advanced training up in Fort Lee, and then from there we actually got like a week off. I went home, and then I flew to Germany, and that's where I was stationed at when I was in. But basically, you do your basic training, and then you're going to do your advanced training, and then you're going to go to your duty station. With the exception of if you're a junior in high school, you'll do your basic training through that split option, and then you'll come back home and you'll do your senior year in high school. And I want to make it very clear. I was talking with a high school counselor, well, actually a couple of conversations with different high school counselors, and they were concerned that when we were recruiting and actually signing up high school students, that we were going to pull them out of high school before they completed their high school. And that's not how it works. You have to have a high school diploma or an equivalency to be able to join the Army. And we prefer an actual high school diploma. An equivalency works, but that's what we want. We want the diploma. We want you to finish your high school career. Mm-hmm. And what we do when we sign a kid up in high school, we actually do a wraparound with them. And their recruiter becomes like a big brother to them or big sister to them. And they support them in their schooling. They meet with them and make sure that things are going okay at home. A lot of our recruiters are from the area, and so they understand the New York life and what happens here. And so they're able to give them that help. I'm here, and I've had a couple of recruiters reach out to me and say, hey, I got a kid who's struggling in school. Can you give them a little help? Absolutely. Give them my email, give them my phone number. Let me know what I can do to support them, and then I can connect with the schools to give them the support that maybe they need as well. There was one other question that I saw.
Was that the Ranger question?
Okay, will juniors in basic training be in population with adults?
So what do you, if I don't understand that question, but if by adults you mean,
I was trying to ask, you said there was a part where juniors can participate in a basic training during the summer between their junior and senior year. While
Correct.
they're in those activities, will there be other people participating in basic training that are not juniors, but they're like adults, grown men, grown women?
yes,
Yeah.
because this program is not only for juniors, but this program is designed for anybody that's enrolled in school. I'll say a college student that cannot, go through training, at once. He has to come back for school. So that could apply to a junior, or it could apply to somebody already in college, or somebody that has a job that doesn't allow them to complete the training back to back. A teacher is an prime example for that. They're often off in the summertime. So if they do join, they'll be able to go, to basic training in the summer, and then advanced individual training in the following summer.
So Reed, you could join this summer if you want to do the basic training.
Oh, that's awesome. Come on, brother. I'll sign you up, man. Oh, that's awesome.
I have another question.
Yeah.
I'm the junior from aviation. So
all right. Hey,
when
how's it going?
when we graduate our 4th year in high school, we only get one of our 2 licenses for the aviation field. So we need to attend another year in our high school. We call it 5th year. How would that hinder anything?
Not really. I mean, it would just be that what we would do is if you signed up. Oh, damn. That went quick.
You guys okay over there? I don't know. Dave, if you're there, we can see and hear you, you know. Just make sure to unmute.
All right, we're back. Battery died. Actually, that was such a great question from, man, that was such a great question. We actually just needed to shut down a little bit so we could figure out a great answer for you. No, the battery died. Ashwin was asking about, because you have the 5th year, right? So if you joined as a junior and you have the 5th year, then what you would do is you would just work that out with your recruiter, and then with your reserve unit, you would work that out with them. And then if you were going to go into the regular Army, it'd be fine. You can join whenever. And what they'll do is they'll just delay your actual assignment to your duty station until after that 5th year. So there is absolutely no problem with doing that. We sign up kids all the time who are going to college, and they want to go and go to basic training and then come back and finish their college. And I have to write a memo documenting that they are attending college and they're going to be delayed going in because they're coming back to do their college. So that's not a problem at all. Again, and it goes back to the fact that the Army really does respect education, and really almost looks to education first, and so embraces that. So that would not be an issue at all. Any other questions that anyone has out there?
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And now, are you a current junior or senior?
I'm actually a junior.
You're a junior, right on.
Yeah.
So I got your email, and I'll shoot you an email, and then I'll connect you. I'll connect you with a recruiter who will reach out to you and your parents and have a conversation with you.
Okay. Sorry, I was muted.
Sound good? No, you're good. You're good.
Nothing he heard.
All right. Do you have any other questions, Ashwin?
That's it. If anything, I'll just reply to the email with a question.
Right on. Sounds good. Tell your friends.
Definitely. I just told one of them actually while you guys
Nice.
shut down.
Awesome. Anyone else have any questions?
Is anybody
No
still out
questions?
there?
Well, if no one else has any questions, you've got our email addresses. Gav has my contact information as well. So if anyone wants some more information, Gav, please share my email, share my phone numbers. I'm open access, and I will come out and talk to anyone who wants it. We can do Zoom sessions. If someone is interested and wants to know a little bit more, and you want to talk to a recruiter, I will connect you with your local recruiter. Or if you want Quitspeak, we'll hook you up and we'll answer your questions. And then if you're a minor still, and you and your parents feel that this is the move that you want to make, then we will go through the process of getting you signed up. If not, no hurt feelings at all. Don't feel like because you've contacted a recruiter, you've contacted me, that you're like obligated now to join. Please don't feel like that. We want you to feel comfortable and do the best thing that is in your future, what you think. And if that means between you and your family, if you're a minor, if you're not, if you feel that your next move might not be the military, then let's wait and continue having the conversations with us. And once COVID is kind of done and we can actually meet up in person, you can come out and meet up with the recruiter and have more hands-on conversation with what the Army is and how it looks like. The videos that I posted, you can really see some of the hands-on working that they do. That doesn't, that's not reflective of the type of like Army soldier training that you would do, but those videos are out there, so you can watch and see what they do. But if you are interested in joining the Army, please let us know. Again, no pressure at all. We want you to make the choice that you're ready to make. And if that means you're ready to sign up and join, then we're going to help you out with that. If it's that you're thinking about it, but you're just not sure yet, that is A-okay. Ask the questions. And if at some point you get to the point where you decide that this is what you want to do, that's great. We're here to support you and make that happen. If you decide, you know what, I thought I might be interested, but I'm not, that's okay too. It is A-okay. No hurt feelings at all. We're here to support you. Pablo has a personal question. If you want to ask it, now, you're good.
Yeah. What would be the steps for me to join the Army? Since I have a herniated disc in my back, would that be like a problem for me to join?
So Pablo, here's the thing. We are not the disqualifying factor. Any recruiter out there is not the disqualifying factor when it comes to medical issues. All right. So this is what happens. You will go through the whole process. You will take the ASVAB, right? You got to get qualified first, and then for your particular medical issue, you will have to get medical documents, providing that you are fit to join the Army, right? Those documents get reviewed by the Army's medical personnel up at the military entrance processing station, and they will determine whether you're fit to join the Army or if they require more medical documentation in order for you to get cleared to join the Army. The Army, last thing the Army wants is for you to get injured even more, or, so that's why we take our precautionary measures in order to make sure you're fully qualified in order to join the Army and be able to complete basic training.
Okay.
But there's only one way to know whether you would be able to qualify and join, and that's to sign up and go through the medical.
I need like a waiver.
Yeah, you would require a waiver if they need it, or if they just need additional documents from your doctor stating that you're good, then you'll be good to go.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Shoot me an email though, and we'll hook you up with Sergeant Quixby, and we can talk more. All right, Pablo?
Okay, sure thing.
Awesome. Laura has a question. To get those papers, would we ask our main doctor like a physical?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So you'll go to your primary doctor, or if you, like Pablo has back issue, you may be seen by a specialist. Pablo, I hear your pain. I've had 2 spinal fusions, so I get you. I've got lots of doctors, so I would go to not only my primary care doctor, my family doctor, but I would go to any of my specialists. I would do a records release and get copies of my medical records and take them to the MEPS, or have the doctor's office send them to the doctor in the Army. Okay, that's how that works. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions? We're here to answer whatever you've got. And the teacher in me, I'm telling you, there's not a stupid question. All right, Pablo, I got your email address. I'm copying it right now. I'll put it in an email. Any other questions that you guys have? Ashwin, I did get yours, and I'm gonna send that email. And I just looked at my drafts because the computer shut down, and it's still in drafts. So I'll send that to you as soon as we get done. You're welcome, buddy. Anything else? And one other thing about the ASVAB, I hear that state testing is back on for this year. One of the things that the ASVAB does is it is an academic predictor. The test has changed since I took it back when wheels were square, and now it actually is computer based. It's an academic predictor. It'll help the schools see academically where you stand, but it'll also serve as a predictor for SAT and ACT tests. So the data that you get back is really, really good for both the student as well as the school as a progress monitoring tool. So there are lots of benefits to the ASVAB. With the test, the student and the parents can decide what access to the data the Army has. And honestly, if you want to allow us to have the data, again, just like I've said, we are recruiters. We're gonna look at the data. But if you say no when we contact you, that you're not interested, that is perfectly okay. We're not gonna be like the used car salesman. And once we get your phone number, you got to go get a new phone number because we're calling all the time. We don't do that. If you say no, we're done. We're still here for you, and we'll support you, but we're not gonna hound you. Anything else? Y'all are asking great questions. I mean, this is why we're here. We want to clear up any misconceptions that are out there. Let you know what we're doing and how we're serving you guys and what we can do to help out. All right. So I think we're gonna call it. You've got our contact information. Gav has my information as well. If you have any other questions, maybe you had something that you're trying to figure out how to ask it, send me an email. Send Sergeant Quixby an email. We'll get back to you. If you're part of a school, we would love to come into your school and help support you in any way possible. And we're not going to be doing it actively recruiting. We'll come in and support your community, help you make your mission and your goals. But I really appreciate, Gav. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share what the Army does through the vocational jobs and just in general. Thank you so much to everyone who is participating. Thank you for coming out and joining us, and we really appreciate all that you guys are doing. Wish everyone well, and thank you again.
Yep. Like Mr. Baker said, thank you very much for listening, for at least considered or learning a little bit about the Army and not just be blind to what you see on TV and everything else. The Army is quickly changing, and its programs and stuff. It's meant to work just like any other organization out here in the regular civilian world. Thank you very much. Like you said, contact us if you have any questions, or just pop in your local recruiting station and ask questions. You don't lose anything by finding out what you can qualify for and what programs are there to help you. At the end of the day, if you don't like what you hear, you just walk out and done.
And that's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate it. Take care.